In previous videos you have seen us setting up the places where we work, eat, cook and come together. But we never really showed you how we sleep. It's mainly centered around vans. Let me show you a few different forms and shapes. Welcome to a new Project Kamp update. Let's go straight to the first van. This is Emma's van.
Hello, welcome. Do you want to see my van? I don't have a house. This van is my house at the moment and I pretty like it. I picked this van because I heard that it's a real workhorse. Also the dimensions are good because you can stand in it, so it doesn't feel that too small. And it really feels like my room, like my tiny house. This is the kitchen. I like to have a lot of space, so I make this because I don't like it if there's like this less space to work. You can lock it. It's just a normal stove, not for campers or whatever, but it's not that heavy and I liked it. The sink with the tap. It's working with a pump, so you will hear it a little bit, but I don't mind. Kitchen closet, a bit messy right now, but there's enough space for all the herbs, the oil. The water of the sink right now goes directly to the land, so I only use just my homemade soap. But I also made a tank underneath, so that's one thing that's also under construction. A big fridge with a freezer, just a normal fridge, but it was way cheaper. And because I have a converter, I can use this. It takes less energy and it has a freezer, so a lot of space and a freezer. That's what you want. This is the isolation I used. I isolate all the van. I can stand in the sun, it will be warm, but if I open the two doors, it's totally fine. This part is where I have my clothes. This one broke already. Need to fix that too. This is the best mattress I ever had. These are extra closets, so laundry, Martijn his audio stuff, my stuff. Very secret VIP bucket. Pee bucket. So sometimes it happens that you can't pee outside because you're in the middle of the city or something. So I have this, I can take it out, pee in there and put it back if I need to drive. So I have those two blocks. So it's locked, so it doesn't fall over. I can take this out and there we have the toilet paper. A few windows, but they're a bit small and a bit hidden. Because I like to be a bit hidden, that people don't see that it is really a camper van. This is my favorite part of the van. It's the window of an old wooden sailing ship. I really like it too. I don't know. This is just my proud, I think. This is the back of the van where I keep all my machines. They need to be safe because this is my work. So you can't go through you can't pick them from the front. You need to open these doors, and I have an extra lock at the back. So if I leave the van, I double lock it to be sure that I still have my machines. Hey, it's pretty big space. I can have 2 rows of these boxes. And they are exactly the same measurement as these boxes, where I have the rest of my tools. Then we have this table. Wait. Yeah, it's nice if I can work on it, but I didn't really do that yet. Water and gas. So it's 22 liters, it's not a lot. Makes you be more aware of how you use the water in the kitchen. Yeah, and the gas bottle, you've seen it's not a big one, but it's enough. I'm traveling now for 4 months and yeah, it's still there. So I have those 3 big batteries. It's like 300 ampere and a big solar panel on top of the van. It gives me enough power for everything. This is Martijn's surfboard. It's too ugly to go inside, but I gave it to him, so I can say that. So I hope you enjoyed the van, and yeah, see you next time.
This is the van where Adrian and I live.
Hey, welcome to our van and bedroom. I want to show you a bit what we have inside, but first take out your shoes. We spent a lot of time in the building of this floor. We built it all ourselves. We made a big effort in the isolation part of the van. It's quite important for it, so we can keep it warm in winter and cold in summer. The van itself, I bought it in 2018 when I was in the Netherlands. It's a Iveco from the 90s. It's an old piece of metal but super strong motor. I hope it's gonna last more than me. This is our bedroom. We have a big bed with a nice mattress. We also have our bookshelf. We have some electricity plugs here to charge our phones or the computer, lights for reading. But what makes it special is that we can fully slide it in order to have a big space in the back to transport machines, materials, bikes, whatever we want. So we have a kitchen with 2 stoves ready for cooking. It's quite easy to cook food with it. We have a little oven too. Another of the few things that we bought new in the van, that we are really happy with it. Then we have our simple water system. It's just a jerry can of 20 liters with a tap and a simple sink. It's cool because when you have like this amount of water, you are really conscious of the amount of the water you consume. You really see how the water is going down, so you don't use much. The van is powered by solar panels on the top, and then it goes to the simple regulator, and then we build this box with all the fuses. Then we also have an inverter to be able to have 220 energy in the van. So here we have a foldable table. All this wood is funny, it's coming from the neighbors in Eindhoven. Just took it, re-ensembled it, make it in our shape and use it again. A great big upgrade on this van that we made recently is to install this big window where we can see the rain from the inside. It opens completely, and we also have mosquito nets or a blind when we don't want light on. I'm a coffee lover, so we have a big coffee machine there in the kitchen, but I also have my own collection here. I also have this one that we got in Belgrade a couple of years ago to make another kind of coffee. Here is where we sit to drink these coffees usually. We have this sliding table under the bed to keep big the space in the van in general, but be able to have dinner, have a chat, work a bit. Here we have also a bit more storage space where we have still more books, a bit more space. With this, it's our dry toilet. But maybe I don't show you this now. And under the bed is where we keep all our clothes. We share 2 crates for me, 2 crates for Julie, and there we have almost all our clothes, all recycled wood. It's all tropical wood, really nice finishing that gives you this feeling of being in a boat a bit. All these lines that go from the front to the back gives you this spacious feeling. Now we go to the back. Portable shower made with an old jerry can. We connect it to the 12-volt plugs we showed you before. And then we will have an outdoor shower. Precious plastic injection machine built according to that. Fully functional, just in case there's some plastic to recycle around. Thanks for the visiting, and now I'm gonna keep on reading my book. Thank you and see you.
And here we have Dave's van.
Hey, welcome to my van, my house. So originally I built the van because I knew we would start Project Kamp, so living close to a community that has facilities like your shower, your kitchen, chill area, so the van is more like your bathroom. So one of the main reasons of getting this van is that I'm kind of a tall Dutch guy and I can stand in here, which I thought if this is going to be my house, I want to make sure I can stand in it. Here's a very small basic kitchen, simple stove to put on because most of the time I don't really cook here. Because we have shared meals in the camp. So this is more every now and then for a weekend or if you want to take some time alone. Got a few cooking spices, not much. Mainly rooibos tea and cacao, that's what I eat. Some cleaning things for my ear. Things like the water system is just a jerry can with gravity, so no complex pumps and stuff. It's empty, fill the jerry can and you're good to go. Got a small sink here that just flushes down outwards, just on the ground. So no complex additional tanks and this kind of stuff. Under the sink I have a very dirty solar setup. USB charger, but it has enough wattage to also charge your laptop. So now with USB-C. So I rarely use the inverter. I like it a lot. So here's the bed. It's a fixed bed, so you can just easily go in. Because this is mainly just a bedroom. Underneath I have my storage in crates. I use these crates a lot, they're all standardized. And then one of the things I did for the bed is that I can take out all my stuff. And this thing goes up like this. So then I can store big sheets of plywood in case we need to move material around. So one thing I also use a lot in the van is magnets. So for instance, to hang stuff, like anything is metal, even a screw. Also that's Rita, that's me. You can move this chair around, so you can drive and make it a bit more spacious inside, which has been quite nice. And in here is a little table, which I use for working. It's pretty basic. And then with my laptop I can work here, plug it in the USB charger, and I can be here for hours and hours. Yeah, so one of the recent problems we have in the van, especially being parked on a longer period of time, is that I had a mouse inside. So first I heard it walking around at the dashboard, which was a bit annoying because it eats cables and stuff and it makes noise, starts to smell. And recently I also saw it here walking on the ceiling, so between the roof and the metal roof and the ceiling you see the mouse steps at night. I've been trying many things to get it out, open up the whole dashboard, but it's been bugging me for quite a bit. The van itself is a Mercedes 609D. It's originally from the German army, served as an ambulance, so there were hospital beds and stuff in the back. It's from 1989, so around 30 years old. And yeah, that's it. I actually also made a video before about the whole conversion of this thing, so you could see it starting from a German army van to this. So we're now on top of the van, and here's the solar panel. I forgot the wattage, I think like 280 or something, but it's enough to get the whole thing going. And also a big roof rack here, also used to transport materials. I can put 6-meter beams on top, which is a bit standard in metal. So this we've actually been using a lot to transport things. View is great, can see a lot. Alright, so that was it for my van. Thank you for watching, and ciao. Also have a window.
And this is Rita's van.
Hi, welcome to the German post van and the place where I kinda live. This is a cool magnetic curtain. Very, very, very crucial in some times of the year. Not just for mosquitoes, for any kind of flying animals. And this is the van where I have most of my things, where I sleep, and where I run away from busy times in the camp. We have a few features of the van which are super cool, because it makes the van, as you see, there is no bed, and it makes the van quite versatile as a room or as an office or as another place. There is a desk, a place just to keep stuff, a closet, yeah, and just like cool feature is just this bed that you can actually fold or unfold. So the van, you can just clutch it on the top. Very versatile space, super nice. And when we are done with sleeping, just easily putting back. So this is a super nice, simple feature with a hose attached to the wall and attached to a water container, and then just with a small air pump that we just press. We have some water directed into the basin. Maybe some of you saw in a previous video that in winter it might froze, so there is no water coming. So this place is also very useful to be used as an office. We can just fold the bed and put a chair here and just work a bit without being in the center of the community. Because we don't have enough of Project Kamp, we put a map here on the wall, but actually it's just that we have an outer perspective of the land and we can go a bit more into the thinking of different zones of Project Kamp. But that is coming soon. Here on the back, it's where the solar panel lays. It's a super cool, clever system that Mattia set up because it comes with a cord, so it means that you can actually detach the solar panel from the van and you can just place it in the sun while you can park the van in the shade. So it's really, really cool. There is another cool feature of this van, but you can't really see it now because it's more a night feature, which is the lights of the van. This van was from Mattia, the Italian guy that maybe some of you guys already remember from previous videos. He had this van and he also renewed a lot and built a lot of this van. And the van was in a state that it couldn't be on the road anymore. So Mattia decided to leave the van to slowly die here on the camp. It was a super cool gift for us. The life in the camp can easily become quite intense as there is a lot of people and just there is not many like closed spaces where you can be a bit more chilled. So with this van it serves a bit like a refuge where you can just come and be a bit more isolated. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you again to Mattia and ciao!
Okay, you have seen the vans, but also we have people living in tents in our camp. Welcome to downtown.
Yeah, living in a tent is pretty nice.
Just sleep in here and can live the rest of the day out in the common areas, so it's not so bad.
So far it's really nice. Now it starts to rain and we see how it goes.
And yeah, feels good.
It's good because it's really small and I feel like it's warmer.
Simple, and I can bring my stuff here and I don't need to bring a big van and I can travel in the bus.
I can hear the raindrops on the taut canvas. It sort of has this sound of fingers on a drum.
Everything's simple, not much to clean, and yeah, it's good.
In summer we have a couple of parties around from the neighbors, but normally it's super quiet and you can hear the crickets, stuff like that.
I don't know, I like to have my little cozy corner that doesn't require me to drive or use any gas.
It's not that warm. Actually, these big canvas tents seem like they're colder than like a small, normal camping tent.
You can't stand up, always sitting down.
Maybe having a better mattress in the future could be an upgrade.
Some of it is more space than I know what to do with. I've been living out of my backpack for for 2 months now, and I don't have that many things, so there's only so much space I can take up. Most of my tent is still empty.
Because it is small, you cannot do everything here, so I just use it to rest. So I can only be sitting down. I don't have the electricity connection here, but yeah, that's it. It can also get wet in the rains.
Before I came here, I was sleeping in a hammock under a rain tarp for a month and a half, so this is definitely an upgrade.
You can go more into nature than when you are in a van, so you can hear the sounds, you can feel the rain, the sun coming, maybe some insects walking around.
2 nights ago I heard some animal or something scratching around outside. Then I lay in bed and I wonder what it is.
Yeah, I always be close to my tent in the ensuite, just over here.
One thing that's worrying me is that this big tree is almost about to fall on top of the tent. This is the challenge we have with this tent.
So this is how we live here in Kamp. We spend most of our time outside working, doing stuff and getting together. We have shared facilities, so our vans and tents are just a place where we go to rest. At least until our sketchy ruin is finished. Then we will have a better setup for guests and for wintertime. Thanks for watching and see you in the next update. Oh, and support us on Patreon if you can.